Dutch entrepreneur. What are you doing?
Right now I'm doing, I'm actually not really entrepreneuring at the moment, funnily enough. I'm setting up a entrepreneurial charity. So it's basically a non-profit which raises money for charity by doing something entrepreneurial. So it's a bit of a mix, really.
So explain me a little bit more about it. How does it work in practice?
Well, my background is in games, video games. So I've been working in games for 10, 15 years. And I sold my company 2.5 years ago. And I was looking at doing something completely different, looking to get into charity, but I also wanted to remain in the games industry. So I came up with the idea of actually uniting the two of them, and I took a little bit of inspiration from the Band-Aid and Live Aid rock concerts, which took place in the middle of the 80s. So basically what we're doing Live Aid and Band-Aid, but then for video games. So in other words, we're getting some of the most famous game designers in the world to get together to produce one big game, which we bring to retail, and all the proceeds are actually going to go to children's charities. So kids and young adults who are buying the game will actually generate money for their age counterparts on the other side of the world that need it more than they do. So that's effectively what we're doing. We're Live Aid for video games.
Well, in my opinion, that's social entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I guess it is. I mean, this may sound strange, but I hate charity. I don't want to give €1 to people where I don't know where the money is going to. I'm an entrepreneur, so what I want to do is I want to take that €1, turn it into €5, and then give it to wherever it's needed. And this is effectively what we're doing with the people that we're speaking to, because we're saying to them, don't give me money. Give me, as a famous game designer, the people behind some of the most famous games in the world, give me your creativity and your time. Give me 10 days of your time instead of $10, and I'll turn it into $100, and I'll give it back to charity. So it's a way of accelerating. It's an acceleration of fundraising, and I think it's a new way of fundraising as well.
Self-esteemed fundraising, huh?
Yeah, I mean. We have charity partners, so the money we generate we give to our charity partners. And the funny thing is that the average age of their donors is about 50 years of age. So when people go 40, 50, they start donating money to charity. I think that kids and young adults are already willing to give money to charity. It's just that there's no exciting way of doing it. You know, you need to provide a platform for young adults to be basically donating, and that's really what we're doing with an industry that is really most known to them, which is video games.
There are so many people out there who are also interested in doing something for a cause, some good stuff. Which hints do you have for them to realize it on a level like you're doing?
Well, I think the first thing, if you're doing a traditional fundraiser, that's basically asking a lot of people to give you money and then you give it straight to charity. What we're doing is basically trying to accelerate it and turn it into more. So by doing so, it suddenly becomes also interesting for participating companies to be involved, because it's a business mechanism. They understand the principle of business much better than the principle of traditional giving. So the first advice I would give to anybody is try and think from an entrepreneurial point of view. If you're a non-profit, you're not out there to not make profit, you're out there to make a shitload of profit so that you can give much more money to charity.
That's a nice approach. There are also some other examples which are focusing on that theme more or less in that area, like Kyra.org, that very famous microcredit platform. Do you think that we are now at a point where we really start using the internet for profound social change?
I think the internet, and this may sound strange, I don't think the internet is new at all. It's just a new way of doing old things. So if there's giving back in society, there'll be giving back in the internet era and in the internet environment. So I don't see it as something new. I just see it as a normal consequence of a society moving from a non-internet era to an internet or a digitalized era.
Let's focus one more time on entrepreneurship. With your experiences, what would you recommend? What has been your biggest learning in raising up a own business or charity project or whatever you want to call it? But what could you give others to their way to succeed?
Be political and be pragmatic. Don't be idealistic. The thing that you're doing is idealistic. but the people you approach have different mission objectives in life. So if you can convince them to be on board for your charity project by being very pragmatic towards them, by giving them something which they use for their own commercial businesses, don't worry about it. You know, it's better to have them on board and make your own charity project a success than to say, no, I want them to be on the same idealistic line. So be political and be pragmatic. That's the top advice, the top learning actually that I had to go through when I set up my charity.
Okay, thank you, and yeah, I wish you a lot of success with your project.
Okay, well, your pleasure.